Thomas, why are we here?
I think we're here to talk about Star Wars.
Our newest Star Wars project.
New Star Wars project.
That just... What was it? Has it been 2 weeks?
I think this Wednesday was the first week without it.
It's only been a week?
Yeah.
It's felt like it's been forever.
Yeah. I've already forgotten.
I've forgotten everything. I haven't forgotten everything, but...
No, definitely not everything. But like...
You know, this format looks a little similar to something else I've seen. I don't know what, though. A little...
Oh, yeah.
I don't know. All right, let's just talk. Let's talk about this.
Sure.
Star Wars is a product that came out in 1977 and should have ended in 1983.
Mm-hmm. But
then more movies came out. And then Disney bought
Lucasfilm.
And then we got more movies.
We did.
And a lot of bad TV shows.
Not bad at first.
And
what?
Yeah, I mean, Mandalorian season 1 was good.
It was good.
I had my reservations about it because of the fact that there is a small Yoda,
a product
on screen to sell toys.
That's true. But I mean, I could look past it because I was like, hey, they're doing something here.
I got scared though because I thought that meant we were gonna see a planet at some point, a planet of Yodas. We'd have to get an explanation of a backstory, which
we still could.
We still got more of. We'll talk about that.
Yeah.
But it was fine. It wasn't Star Wars really. It was something else set in the Star Wars universe.
Yeah. And it was fun.
Serial adventures. Well paced. Pedro Pascal was actually on set.
Yeah, he was on set.
Everyone
looked like they gave a shit.
Bill Burr, who hates Star Wars,
Bill Burr was in it.
And he's good.
Giancarlo, of course.
Just a really solid first season, and then season 2
dropped like literally a year later.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Didn't make us wait at all.
That's when it started getting scary. It was still okay.
Yeah, no, I still like season 2.
It was
personally.
It's still good.
Yeah, I like it.
It's still good, except for like the spider episode.
Yeah, I mean,
I don't care. I just don't care.
But it's like
monster episode. Episode.
Yeah, but like this is the problem with the show. It's like he has like a journey to bring Baby Yoda back to his people, who are the Jedi, I guess. But it's like that stuff becomes like just all infused in like Star Wars member berries. So you don't want to see that. But then they have like one-off adventures that don't have to do with that.
Yeah.
But those are boring. Anyways, yeah, then 3 years passed.
3 years passed.
I mean, in that time, we did get some other shows.
A better show called Andor. It came out before Mandalorian.
Did you forget about...
Oh, yeah.
The Book of Boba Fett?
Oh, Book of Boba Fett, yeah.
Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Well...
You think being like him will make people frightened of you?
Find someone else. She'll be better off.
We could do a whole nother video on Obi-Wan Kenobi.
Oh, let's not.
No.
It's
no. Let's
just...
let that be forgotten by time.
And then somehow Andor...
Oh.
A massive joke when it was announced.
Oh, yeah.
Because who in their right mind is like, yeah, minor character from
Rogue One.
From Rogue One, he's getting a show, and you're supposed to be hype?
Yeah, a movie which infamously has very memorable and amazing characters.
It's so much better, so much more interesting.
Oh, yeah.
And dynamic.
Yeah.
And it's actors.
Actors.
There's actors acting.
Every single actor
is amazing.
Is so good.
Like Marva.
Oh,
I mean, come on.
Come on, man.
You're not like
Star Wars almost made me cry.
Yeah, but that just shows like there is some hope for Star Wars. There's a new hope for Star Wars. That doesn't have to be thing you know.
Yeah. No.
It's not thing you know. It's not Boba Fett, Obi-Wan, Ahsoka.
Yeah. And I was so conditioned to that I was waiting. I didn't think Andor was going to like go full into that, but I was waiting for like even like an Emperor cameo or something. But there's nothing.
There's nothing.
There's nothing.
There's the Senate.
Yeah, the Senate chambers.
And it's barely there.
Barely.
And that's it. 2 seasons?
2 seasons. It's all planned out.
It's not going to run forever.
24 episodes.
It's not.
We're already halfway through the show.
Oh my god, Obi-Wan was 6 episodes?
Yeah, dude.
12 episodes, an hour long, 45 minutes each.
Yeah, like 30 something to 50, like, however long they needed
to be.
It's perfect.
It's so perfect in Andor.
Begging for more.
Aside from Andor, Star Wars has just not been fun.
No.
Since 2019. Since 2020, I guess. It's been a grueling 3 years.
And so Mando Season 3 came out.
And the first episode came out.
And even though, Season 2, it was like, like we said, Book of Boba Fett was bad, I was still expecting at least a similar quality to that of the first 2 seasons. I was wondering what they were going to do. I think the episode opened with the cult of Mandalorians.
They were
practicing? No, they were initiating.
They were initiating a child.
And all their costumes looked like plastic. And
it's like actual Star Wars fans.
Yeah.
Like like parents of Star Wars.
I would bet
literal
money.
Parents.
Yeah.
Of little parents that are Star Wars fans that have literally brought their children to set and are passing down their Star Wars obsession to their children. That literally is happening on screen as we're watching, because a lot of those, are any of them besides the armor and like Paz actual actors, or are they all fans?
I don't think there's any credits for them, so they got to be fans, right? Like, I feel like they would at least get something in the credits if they were actual actors. I guess they could be extras and not be credited.
They're extras and not credited.
But after they revealed that in Season 1 they just asked Star Wars fans to bring their Stormtrooper costumes and come to set, I would bet so much money that they did the same for the fucking Mandalorians, because there's like one with like fucking, I don't know, they just look like shit.
Like, these people don't get paid anything.
No.
They just come to set because it's like, I get to be in Star Wars.
Star Wars.
What happens after that? After Mando comes back to the cult and saves that child or whatever?
Well, no, that you're skipping ahead.
No. The kid didn't get captured in the episode, but help stop the thing in the water from the cult, because that's what happens.
Yeah. Well, I think he shoots it, and then he says something cool, and then it cuts to the title card, I think.
Is he just there? He's not there the whole episode, is he?
No, he
travels.
No, he goes back to Carl Weathers.
Oh God,
first.
Yeah. He goes back to Carl.
And because he needs IG 11 back.
IG-11.
He needs him back.
He needs a droid back because he needs a droid he
can trust
to go down to the surface and do something.
Which we talked about because I didn't understand because he was like, oh, I need a droid I can trust. So I assumed, I was like, oh, he needs IG-11 because IG-11 saw his face in Season 1 and he needs someone to like...
Yeah.
'cause he's going to take off all his armor to bathe in the waters of Mandalore and he doesn't want like a human to see it. But then he just got R5 and then he...
Well, yeah, he goes...
He had Bo too and he just bathed in the waters with all his shit on. So why did he need...
I need a droid that can explore ahead of me and test the atmosphere. Make sure it's safe to breathe.
Okay.
Hero of the Rebellion, who now canonically gave his life. I guess it's a droid. There is no gender. Died so that R2-D2 could be taken in by Luke Skywalker.
But he didn't die.
But he didn't die because he's in this.
He fought alongside the rebellion. Because remember the one guy with the X-Wing, I don't know their names.
Oh my god!
Because he introduced them and he was like, oh, we fought alongside each other in some battle.
He said that?
Yeah. Like they knew each other. Because, no, I think you forgot this. Because you know how that guy found the Mandalorian cave and we were like, how the fuck did he know where he was? They explain it away because they say that droid, R7 or whatever, sent them the location because they were old buddies and like fought alongside each other. Like, he communicated with that droid to get their location. I'm not joking.
I can't. It's like, oh my god.
How did you manage to find us? Mandalorians pride ourselves on our secrecy.
Fortunately, someone I served with in the rebellion is amongst your ranks. Thanks, R5.
Okay, yeah, sure. R5's a combatant of the rebellion. What's this droid doing? Anyway.
I mean, we're jumping around a lot, but I guess...
Well,
what else are we going to do?
I mean, that's the episode. There's nothing else.
But no, that's in, like, episode fucking
Well, that's an episode there,
whatever.
but that's the whole episode, is he needs to find a droid
Yeah.
to help him go to Mandalore for...
But then he doesn't, and instead he goes to Bo, and he's like, I don't even remember what he needs from her.
Bo-Katan, it is Din Djarin. I am here to join you.
And then she says no, and he leaves, and the episode ends.
I think he was
Because he goes back at the beginning of episode 2, and... No, because he goes to Mandalore on his own, and then Baby Yoda comes back, and is like, oh my god.
That's in the second episode,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, that's the whole first episode. Also, just... the fact that in Book of Boba Fett, he just is no longer is he like, oh, this Mandalorian coven is something cool.
Yeah.
I kind of don't like it anymore because my adopted son is more important to me.
Mm-hmm.
And then in a show that's not his, he goes to the armor and says, and she's like, what did she say?
She literally all she says is like,
Did she say there to bathe in the waters of Mandalore, or to go back to Mandalore, or
yeah,
that
she
he's
says
not
you need to bathe in the waters of Mandalore
because he's not a Mandalorian anymore? So that means he goes to Luke and steals Baby Yoda back.
Also, he still cares about the armorer's opinion because she didn't like know that he took his helmet off. She was just like,
yeah.
did you? I think she just like asked him like,
And he
did you? And
said
he's like,
yes.
yeah. And she's like, well, you're not a Mandalorian anymore. He's like, oh.
Din Djarin, have you ever removed your helmet?
I have.
Then you are a Mandalorian no more. According to Creed, one may only be redeemed in the living waters beneath the mines of Mandalore.
Which they're also just never going to explain this stupid sect of Mandalorians that are hyper-religious.
Well, aren't they descendants of the whatever watch? The Night Watch? Because they mentioned that in this season. Because he gets taken by... Is that their name, Night Watch?
Death Watch.
Death Watch. Because that's who takes him in the flashback in season 1.
Yes.
And then in this season, she mentions... I think she calls them the Death Watch.
I guess Bo-Katan technically isn't Death Watch anymore because of...
But she came from them?
Yeah.
I guess.
we're not gonna get into fucking Clone Wars.
Well, no,
Wars
I was Bo-Katan. I was thinking of the fucking.
Oh,
armor.
I don't know who that is. It's just new characters, so I don't think it matters. I think it's pointless. It's a new thing that they just crammed into Star Wars just to justify him being somewhere else. Just to justify his existence, because it's like, oh, well, we know this happened to Mandalorians. We know this happened to Mandalorians. So where's he? I guess he's in some weird religious cult.
Well, yeah, because at the end of season 2, he's already the only time he's actually taken his helmet off before that, like, to another human was Bill Burr episode. But then he finally takes it off to look at his son.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, he's finally like, he cares about him more than you know
Yes.
his cult or whatever. And then off screen, he changes his mind, because then in the book of Boba Fett, he cares that he's not a Mandalorian anymore because he took it off, even though that was kind of like the sacrifice.
Yeah. And now then he goes to steal his son back.
Because that was all the book of Boba Fett was. It was like, oh, he did that. He made the sacrifice. He's like, he doesn't care about his religion anymore. Oh, and Baby Yoda is not with the Mandalorian anymore. He's with Luke Skywalker. And book of Boba Fett was just like, how about we just, get rid of all of that and just pretend like it didn't happen.
I beg you for your forgiveness. How can I atone?
Leave, apostate.
That happened, and then so that's why he's with the Coven again. And then that's why he's going to Mandalore to redeem himself in the eyes of God and confess his sins. And then that's the whole first episode, just looking for a droid. That's the first episode, looking for
and we get to see Babu Freak.
What do you want?
Babu Freak is two episodes of The Mandalorian.
No, wait, 3.
Oh god, yeah, because he's in the
I forgot about
when
that
the
episode.
pirates. Anyway, we're getting ahead of
Holy
ourselves.
Shit.
Getting ahead of ourselves.
I forgot about that whole storyline. I forgot about that guy.
Was that at the end of episode 1, actually?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's where they tease pirates.
We are pirates!
Led by Swamp Thing, that I guess
are
no one should be assuming this, but someone on screen assumes that Moff Gideon is dealing with these pirates.
Oh, yeah, and their evidence is just that he also tried to take that town once.
Navarro has reported accounts of stormtroopers in the streets and TIE fighters openly flying above. The citizens speak of Moff Gideon occupying the town, and now a pirate king is attempting the same thing? These events could all be connected.
And it makes no sense. And so that's like in the next episode. But yeah, pirates show up and then they're teased and then they show up later. The second episode's going to Mandalore.
Yeah.
Because you think, oh, this season's going to be all about retaking Mandalore, which I guess it is. But it's like, you think it's going to be interesting, but then there's nothing on the surface. There's like these weird things underground. It takes R7.
Yeah, Planet of the Apes looking.
It goes to R7, and then with Baby Yoda goes down. And there's like 25 minutes of just walking underground.
Oh, and then there's that prequels looking creature thing.
Yeah, it takes 25 minutes of just long takes of nothing. And then he gets attacked and knocked out by a weird prequels thing. And then Baby Yoda escapes. Oh, there's other things, aren't there? There's those other little creatures
the little
because
Planet of the Apes things.
Yeah, because then Baby Yoda uses the Force, and then goes to Bo, and says, "Mando can't talk."
Can't talk.
She just assumes Mando needs help.
Yeah, I think she says something like, "Where is he? Is he in trouble?"
And then
that
that takes another 25 minutes. It feels like that whole episode feels like it's 5 hours long, but it's like 45 minutes.
literally all of that just for him to then bathe at the end and
immediately
see the mythosaur.
He doesn't.
No,
Bo-Katan does, which is very important. And that's the episode. And then mission complete. He's bathed in the waters, and now starts the worst thing I've ever seen ever, which the Mandalorian just turns into the Bo-Katan sideshow.
Yeah.
Where every episode, except 3? No, 3 starts with them again. No! Yes, 3 starts with them again. Okay.
Yeah, it starts before the credits with them, and then it cuts to the other shit.
Anyway, every episode ends with Bo-Katan doing a pose and looking out at a character. So now it's no longer about Mando because his story is over.
Yeah.
There's nothing.
He shouldn't even be in it.
No.
If you
nothing,
wanted to...
There is nothing for him to do. There is absolutely nothing for him to do.
Like, yeah, why don't you just leave Baby Yoda with fucking Luke and just make it... If you really want to make it an anthology show and just have it be about Bo-Katan for
Because
season 3.
Kathleen Kennedy called and said, you need to put Baby Yoda back on the show so we can sell more toys next quarter. And so Baby Yoda's back, who also has nothing to do. Those the two characters that this show started with have nothing to do. And so now it's the Bo-Katan show where she needs to retake Mandalore and become a leader again.
But then, here's the thing, because now you've made it about her and she's retaking Mandalore again.
She's so boring.
She's so boring. But now she's retaking Mandalore, so now what does she have to do?
Nothing. Episode 3 has them leaving the waters, and then a bunch of TIE bombers and TIE fighters destroy Bo-Katan's cool castle.
Yeah.
And then they just go into hyperspace. And then we cut to Coruscant. So we watched this Dr. Pershing as a... What are they called?
Amnesty Officer M34.
Amnesty Scientist, L52.
Imperial...
The New Republic is taking in Imperial turncoats because they have nowhere else to go and using them for things.
It's like the Nazis.
Get it? It's like Nazis, which... so original. I couldn't have thought of that before.
And we saw the Opera House again.
And we got to see the Opera House from Revenge of the Sith, where there's like water snakes or something dancing. We get to see that again. You remember that? Do you remember that? Do you remember the prequels? Don't you love the prequels now because you said so after the original trip? I hate all these producers. They have no idea what's going on.
No, because the sequel trilogies was like, oh, we can't talk about the prequels. Everyone hates the prequels. And then it was like, oh wait, no, people love the prequels. So let's just like only do prequel stuff.
But they only love but they love the prequels because of animated show, like just because of the Clone Wars, and also because people have bad nostalgia because these new movies suck.
Because they watched it when they were a kid.
Yeah, and that's everything. The whole it's the longest episode.
Yeah.
Episode 3 is the longest episode.
Almost an hour.
And it's just Dr. Pershing trying to justify. He's doing like a talk. He's doing a TED talk about
cloning.
And that he's like, "Oh, I'm so wrong for what I did. I'm so sorry. But now I'm with the New Republic, so everything's okay."
What is he doing for the New Republic?
He's like pushing papers.
Oh yeah.
He's literally just like pushing papers. I don't know what else he's doing.
We said this when we watched it, but it kind of just felt like John and Dave
they watched
saw
Andor.
the rushes of Andor like on a day of production, and we're like, no, we can do that. We can do that.
Yeah, they watched Andor, which is a good show, and then saw that it has complex characters and interesting themes, and then decided, let's do that but dumber.
Yeah.
And just shove it in your face. And just be like, oh, the New Republic's not that great either because they're not letting him do his cloning program research, and they're not letting him.
And
they're not giving aid, or is that a different episode?
That's a different episode.
Holy mother of God!
But the New Republic is just as bad as the Empire, or kind of just as bad. Not as bad, but almost. And there really is no good side because humans are flawed. Isn't that new and a deep concept for Star Wars?
It's just so pushed in your face and just like, do you get it? What else happens? He just tries to do his thing. He meets other people. There's the officer from Moff Gideon's ship that we see like once in season 2. Abby from The Last of Us, who will be getting cast as Abby, as everyone on the internet has said.
I think the whole episode is just Abby like pushing him to.
You're led to believe
open a lab. And then he finally does find the lab, and it was a trick, and we still don't really know why. I guess it was to wipe his mind of all the.
I don't know. No,
I think
it's not clear.
No,
it's not that.
No. But we find out that she is working for Gideon, so it has to be. So I think what it is because he was working for the good side.
She's a double agent.
And so she wanted to frame him to come up with an excuse to use that machine on him, so she could erase all the like knowledge he had of Gideon's operation because he probably knew about the clones and the Force clones.
I thought it was just a way to turn him back.
But
I thought that was the whole bit.
But the mind warper thing can't like turn you bad. It just like. What does it do?
They said it's like. It's supposed to like.
This is a mind flayer.
This is a 602 mitigator. It's a non-invasive experimental treatment recently approved for rehabilitation.
No, it's a mind flayer.
It's a similar device, but we found at low voltages it can be used to help soothe select traumatic memories. You'll see some pleasant colors, hear a light buzzing, and experience a great sense of relief in no time at all.
You're gonna wipe my mind.
Absolutely not. This isn't the Empire, son.
It's like he said like something like it makes you feel good. It's supposed to make you feel differently about things.
On?
I don't know. I don't know. I do not remember what
was it. Was it literally like? Were they like showing him images and of like?
That's what I think. I think it's supposed to be
Shaw and Samaritan Labs.
Yes. That's a person of interest reference for all you kids out there. Yeah, I think it's just supposed to not mind control, but like it's supposed to brainwash you essentially. That's the word I'm looking for, brainwashing.
So when she turns it up to 11,
it's ultra brainwash. I don't think it's
but it's ultra brainwashing him to the New Republic?
I guess you're right. I guess the whole point is that it's supposed to erase bad memories, which in this case are memories of the Empire.
And that episode set up what exactly?
What's episode 4?
Is that him saving the kid from the bird? And so Paz loves him now.
Oh my!
Is that episode 4?
Is that true?
I think that's episode 4. Oh yeah, because episode 4 also has the flashback to Order 66.
You're right. Episode 4.
Holy fuck.
Episode 4 is our
dude. Nothing happens.
Is our third monster episode in this season.
Yeah.
Nothing happens. They save a kid from a bird or a dragon because Game of Thrones is popular.
Sure, yeah. Star Wars dragon.
There's a Star Wars dragon, and the whole episode is just these bozos going to go save this child, which gives the Mando justification to get help in a later episode.
Kid?
Sure.
Right?
Sure.
Because that's why he likes him now?
I don't know.
So Paz's son doesn't have a father anymore?
I have had my disagreements with this man, but he risked his life to save my son.
I don't know. I don't care. I don't think any of them technically have children. I think they just steal kids.
Oh yeah, because you're so right.
I guess they just. Also, how would you? I guess you only have to. I guess you
Paz didn't have a wife.
I guess you only have to keep your helmet on.
Yes.
So you can technically take off all your armor, but you keep the helmet on during sex. So these Mandalorians could be reproducing.
What else is there to do in that cave? what do you do all day?
Yeah.
Also, where do they get their food?
Don't talk about that. You're thinking way too hard about this. You think there's any logic to this terrible, terrible story? The only thing in the episode that's of any relevance is we see Baby Yoda's partial backstory where...
Is it relevant, though?
I don't know. There's like a small flashback of it in season 2 or whatever. Who is it? Jar Jar Binks' actor shows up. And... He saves Baby Yoda. And brings him to a Naboo ship with Naboo guards, which isn't explained.
No.
Because the flashback ends when they enter hyperspace.
Mm-hmm. And it ends in such a way that I thought they would go back to it because...
Yeah, and they don't.
But they don't.
Because they're saving it for season 4.
Yeah.
When we get to see...
a full Baby Yoda flashback episode.
Yes. I mean, congratulations to Ahmed Best.
Yeah, sure.
You got dogged on for so many years of your life, and now you're back. You did Jedi Temple Challenge on YouTube for kids, and then you came back as that character for the show, and you had a cool thing, and then it's fine.
It's fine.
Good for him. Who the hell is... Whose Naboo ship is this, and who are these guards? If it's actually Jar Jar Binks, I'm going to shit my pants. I'm going to shit my pants, because it can't be Padme, and there's no other people in this universe that we know, unless it's just a random Naboo person.
Is Jar Jar friends with Jedi besides Anakin? Because he said, like, oh, I'm taking you to my friends. But, like, he's friends with Mace senator,
Windu.
Though. He is?
Yeah.
Is that like a Clone Wars thing?
Yeah.
Oh.
There's 2 episodes in Clone Wars. I believe they're the lost episodes of season 6 where Jar Jar finds a love interest on some like random planet that Mace Windu also went to for some reason. There's people missing. Who cares? They have an adventure together.
Oh.
But I don't know. Why not? Because he's like. Unless they're just adding in new characters.
Yeah, because who else would it be?
Captain Pancake or whatever his name is. Captain
Pancake?
Captain Panaka.
Who's that?
Oh, is that the one from... That might be the one from Phantom Menace. That's the wrong one. There's another one that's in Clone Wars. Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith. I don't know what his character's name is.
Because it could just be a new character, because we thought the same thing. We were like, who's going to save Grogu from the temple?
I guess that's true.
Who else could it be?
I guess that's
it was
true.
Just someone new.
I feel like they wouldn't pass up that opportunity,
to
though.
Have Jar Jar
to have Jar Jar and people
in the same shot.
Clap so hard.
Yeah.
I think that's happening in season 4.
Absolutely.
We're on episode 5. We have
this is where things start to get blurry.
Because I don't know.
Because episode 6 is
that's 6.
6 is the crime against Christ.
Oh, you're right. Yeah.
So
what's 5? Oh, that's the pirates.
One.
We got pirates.
Pirates in Star Wars.
We are pirates.
So Captain Hook and his crew show up.
Captain Hook and Smee.
Yeah, show
up
to Carl Weathers' town. I forget what the name of that place is, because somehow it's the same place from the first season.
Yeah, but it's nice now.
It's more developed or something.
Yeah. And we get an epic Mandalorian battle.
Yeah.
Because that's all that happens in that episode, though. Yeah, is the town is...
Pirates take over the town. Carl Weathers leaves. He sends out a distress signal, which... Oh, yeah. He sends out the distress signal, which...
Tim Meadows refuses to respond to.
Tim Meadows refuses to respond to after Pilot from Season 1 tries to get him to do, and then Abby from The Last of Us. Convinces Tim Meadows no, essentially.
They have yet to sign the charter. They're not a member planet.
Uh-oh. It's not good.
What does that matter? We can't leave them defenseless.
Of course not. But we have a backlog of requests from member worlds that have priority.
And then he goes to an outpost where we see Rebel's character, Zabarelios, everyone's favorite.
Glup Shido.
Yeah, Glup Shido and Gorzob Horvan.
Who?
And Didasi Katan and Rotan Jimdon. Glup Shido.
He is in that episode.
Dave Filoni's in that episode.
He is.
His signature hat is in the episode. Signature cowboy hat. Anyway, that's proof of concept for the Ahsoka show.
Yeah, so that Zeb can be in it.
And then he just finds Mando because of R7. And then they have a fire discussion where you think it's going to be a fight to get the Mandalorians to leave their little cave and go fight the fight against pirates. And then because of the previous episode where Paz's son is rescued.
I was so lost for a second.
Yeah, it sounds like he's going to be against it. But
then he's like, this is the way.
In a turn of events, they go... they say this is the way like 50 million times this season, and it's nauseating.
Yeah. Every time they say it,
it's just cringe. It's
I get
pure
it.
Cringe.
I understand.
This is the way.
This is the way.
This is the way.
This is the way.
This is the way. This is the way.
This is the way.
This is the way.
This is the way. This is the way.
They go to the Mandalorians go to the planet and they save the planet from the pirates, and that's it.
But the one gets away. The one little rapscallion guy.
Is that true?
Yeah, the guy who was in the skeleton crew.
Oh, that guy gets away?
Yeah.
Oh.
He's got to be in skeleton crew, doesn't he?
I just thought skeleton crew was going to be like a precursor, but I guess it's...
I honestly don't know.
Who cares? Who cares? I don't. So yeah, that guy's in skeleton crew,
episode.
so we can tie this universe together. And that's it.
That's the whole episode.
Nothing happens.
Nothing happens.
Everything we've said, nothing happens. Like, there's no characters.
We literally just explore Bo's story, but like from the sake of the two main characters, they're at the same spot they were at the end of Book of Boba Fett.
It's not even a story. There is
not a story.
development for her. She's just sitting in a castle at the start of the season, sad, and then the second episode she's fine because she saw a fucking monster in the water. And now
it's so true. She doesn't have any development.
There's no development. She just decides I'm gonna
gets what she wants.
Yeah, I'm just gonna go rule my planet again.
It becomes religious.
This whole season is just about committing yourself to Jesus Christ.
Did Dave and John find Christ again?
I think Dave and John have found Christ again, and just replace Mythosaur with Jesus. And you will not have a fun time. Actually, you might have a more fun time watching this if you just pretend that Bo-Katan saw Jesus in the water, walking on water as she dragged Din out. This is a very pro.
Oh,
it's so weird.
Yeah,
it's so weird.
Like I said the other day, it feels like the whole time I was watching, it felt like season 3 was like a season where John and Dave left. because they were like, oh, we're going to do other stuff. And they, like, gave it to someone else. Like, it feels like someone else is running the ship. But the same two people are actually behind it. And it doesn't make any sense. The visions are completely different.
Like, Book of Boba Fett looks cheap. Obi-Wan Kenobi looked cheap. Andor didn't look cheap. This season of Mandalorian looked so cheap. It's as if we tried to light the Mandalorian. We just shoot it in the day and blast lights.
Yeah, see,
there is no, and then the nighttime stuff is just like what?
Yeah, it looks like. Yeah, it looks like an allergy commercial.
It looks like a Claritin commercial.
Claritin.
Which
just
brings
like Obi-Wan. Every shot of Obi-Wan looks like a Ford's about to come up from the background.
Preparation. That's the true mark of a master. It's what unites the kayaker, the surfer, the climber, the adventurer. Ready for anything. Always thinking ahead. Sharpened by experience.
Yeah, yeah.
During the Super Bowl.
Yeah, Obi-Wan looks like a Super Bowl commercial. This looks like a Claritin commercial, which brings us to episode 6.
6, which
is the worst thing I have ever seen. I think it I don't know if I can say it's the worst episode in the season, but boy oh boy.
I think one of its biggest problems is that it is the 6th episode, because
it's the 6th episode.
It's kind of similar to the Spider one, where it has nothing to do with anything, but like those are usually at the beginning of the season before you get into the story. But we haven't really gotten into the story yet at all, a little bit. And then we're given like an embarrassingly written like espionage murder mystery story.
It's a murder mystery in the middle
with Jack Black, Lizzo, and Christopher Lloyd.
I don't know who made these decisions this season, but for some reason, I want to say they all express interest. Maybe not Christopher Lloyd. I don't know. It's like, why do you get these 3 individuals for this? Okay, it starts and it looks terrible.
Oh yeah,
this
episode looks awful.
There's like a throwaway line probably that I don't remember, where for some I remember what it was. They take control of the ship when they're landing. They lose control of the ship, so they're forced to land like on the other side of under the dome.
But they also don't know where the Mandalorians are.
Because
don't they give them that information? Don't Jack Black and Lizzo, isn't that their trade-off? Like, you be our sheriffs in this case, and we'll tell you where your friends are?
Even though you could just look out the window while you were flying in. I want to say they do that.
No, I don't think so. Because I'm pretty sure they don't know where they are. Because that is their trade-off, I'm pretty sure. Because why else would they be? Because it's not just out of the generosity of their own heart. I'm pretty sure it's like, oh, we'll tell you what you want to know.
I think it's worse. I want to say they saw it.
No way.
We'll see.
We'll see.
We'll see.
There they are.
That's quite a fleet.
It took me a long time to assemble it.
3 celebrity cameos.
3.
In just this dumb, like, weird town.
That is, like, ultra... is like the bit is that they're, like, ultra-liberal?
Star Wars hates liberals?
I think that's the joke, because they're like, oh, we're so liberal that we don't have any guns.
No. The bit is that Jack Black used to be under the Empire, and then they left, and so because of in disgust or something, I don't know.
But doesn't he say like,
I don't know,
we're so liberal that we don't have sheriffs or we don't have weapons?
I think,
but now we have a droid problem, so we
I want to say
helpless because we don't have any weapons.
Yes.
So that's why they hired.
But I think the reason is because of the weird Empire thing with Jack Black, which is like another throwaway line.
Yeah, which that dude used to work for the Empire?
Our charter forbids us from having a military because of my husband's imperial past.
I think they must have just cast them just for social media. It must be a meta thing.
Yes.
Because why?
No, there's no other reason, especially for Lizzo.
Yeah.
Lizzo doesn't act.
Or why didn't you just like space out those cameos? Cast one of them in this episode, one of them in this episode. It's probably because they were like, wow, this fucking script you handed me, John, it's got nothing in it for people to grasp onto.
Yeah, just put some celebrities.
And, we can't put cameos in here because it would make sense, because why would they be in the city? So let's just do celebrity cameos.
That's so bad. It sucks. And so they leave Baby Yoda with Lizzo to play cricket, space cricket.
Yes.
Don't let allergies hold you back. It's gonna be a bright, Live Claritin Clear with non-drowsy Claritin.
And then Din and Bo go on a...
Oh, and do you remember the droids from the prequels?
And there's battle droids and super battle droids from the prequels. They have to find out why these battle droids are...
iRobot.
It's just iRobot.
It's just Star Wars iRobot.
It really is just iRobot. They have to figure out why they're malfunctioning, and then there's also a droid morgue, which makes no sense.
Yeah, they have the fucking ice boxes.
Yeah, they have a droid morgue, and then the mortician finds that there's a virus in them or whatever, which is like... Christopher Lloyd is separatist, is an old-time separatist that got sucked up into some bullshit.
Count Dooku was a visionary. He was cut short in his prime by the Jedi forces.
Which also makes no sense, because it's like, why are you doing it here on this like peaceful, like weird, like party?
Who knows about this place?
Nobody.
Like, who's gonna hear about what did you want to accomplish?
There's no point. For some reason, he just takes these battle droids, overwrites them, makes them kill people.
Wait, but then we find out when he confronts Lizzo and Jack Black that he just doesn't like Jack Black.
I don't remember.
Because remember, he's like, things haven't been the same since this guy's been around here. Like, things have changed. And then Lizzo's like, oh, well, you took your actions a little crazy. And he's like, I apologize. And she's like, well, maybe I'll accept that someday. And you're like...
They just throw him in prison. Yeah, I don't remember. I showed the clit.
This planet is unrecognizable since he arrived.
I'm disappointed in you, Commissioner. You served my family well.
I am sorry to have disappointed you, my lady. Perhaps someday I can earn such forgiveness from your grace.
And then it ends with an embarrassing fight.
In the last 10 minutes, in broad daylight, in eye-piercing daylight.
Yeah, it looks like it was filmed
in the back lot of Skywalker Ranch. It looks like they went outside. They went
like freshly. Who's trimming that grass? These are the fucking questions I asked.
Oh my god, yeah, it's like freshly trimmed grass in the middle of this field,
it's
not
the
near the city.
Because the fucking city doesn't care about anything.
And it's a freshly cut lawn.
Did the Mandalorians do that?
Yeah, Mandalorians just like cutting grass and just we're gonna be here for like maybe a week. Let's cut their lawn for them.
Yeah, but there was like one kind of cool move in the fight, but the camera it's
terrible. It's boring, and she just beats her old like sergeant or whatever, and then they're like, we can't follow you. You don't have the dark saber, and then Din makes up some.
Yeah, he gives it to her on a technicality.
Which is...
Even though he could have done that at the end of Season 2.
Could he have?
I mean, it doesn't make any sense. He
could
have just given it to her at the end of Season 2.
The whole thing about the Darksaber being this thing that you need to lead Mandalorians is is nonsense.
And to win it in battle like the fucking Elder Wand, bro.
Like, because what happens in Clone Wars is just it's something about Blaise character called previous one. He's like generation, just taking town, so just that all sense, and somehow it turns into the thing you need to lead Mandalorians. Because Darth kills previous fight, and he's saber. I don't remember what I was just they fought for like lead Darth Maul 1 after I'm pretty sure that's the Clone Wars, and somehow in Rebels they decided Darth Saber leading Mandalorians. Get that. Okay, just get it. Darth Saber, and she looks up and it's like, you guys now. But yeah, it's like she got real.
Yeah, because his fucking metrics are that he had it, but the water of Mandalore, like
no,
snatched him up.
No,
and she saved him.
No. The weird prequel guy that captured him. You remember that?
Oh my god!
And he lost it, and then she got it back and used it to defeat the guy.
So he technically lost to the guy.
Yes.
And then she beat the guy.
Yes.
While exploring Mandalore, I was captured, and this blade was taken from me. She defeated the enemy that defeated me. Would this blade then not belong to her?
It would.
And
so for a split second, that prequel's monster was the true ruler of Mandalore.
Yeah. Oh my god, there's still 2 more episodes.
And then we get to the last 2 episodes.
They get a fleet with the Mandalorians that they bring to Carl Weathers and the Mandalorians who stayed on planet after
and they
defeating
painted
the
their
pirates.
Mandalorian logo on the bottom of the ship.
Yep.
God knows how long that took.
Yeah. Yeah. They gather all the Mandalorians and then they go to Mandalore. That's literally all that happens in like the first 15 minutes.
Well, no, you forgot about the first
Oh.
scenes of the whole episode, in which Grand Moff Tarkin.
Yeah, Grand Moff Tarkin.
Grand Moff Gideon. What's his name? Just Moff Gideon.
Moff Gideon.
Moff Gideon is back, and
Abby tells him
that
the pirates were defeated, which means the pirates
they were working for the pirate. The pirates were working for Moff Gideon.
God.
Sir, I'm afraid the pirates have run into trouble on Navarro.
This cannot be.
And then he goes into his special little room, and
God.
we see
clones.
We see clones.
We see clones.
We see new stormtroopers,
which we learn are Beskar armored stormtroopers.
and they have like the First Order eyes, so that's cool.
Sort of, and then
And
we see clones that we don't know what they are. Then he goes into a room with a bunch of Imperial warlords that are scattered apart in front of the galaxy, and one
Tarkin's guy is there.
No. Oh, is he? No, he's not. What?
Not Tarkin. Thrawn.
Sorry,
I don't know what
Good
I'm talking
Christ. Get it right.
Thrawn's guy.
Played
by
Pelion.
Spoiler alert.
Admiral Pelion?
The serial killer Red John in the TV series The Mentalist.
Oh, no one knows what that is. Oh, no.
Jamie, pull that up.
Thrawn's return will herald in the reemergence of our military.
Anyway,
he's there.
Hux's
dad is there.
And Hux's dad is there. Hux's dad is working on Project Necromancer, which is just revive the Emperor.
Mm-hmm.
And then
because they're streamlining this nostalgia thing.
It's
now the sequels that like just came out are already nostalgic because we're dipping our toe in that. We got Hux, we got the Praetorian Guards.
Oh God Almighty!
We got cloning, we got Operation Necromancer,
and something that. Pelion's just waiting for Thrawn to return, which is just a setup for the Ahsoka show.
Yeah,
just a setup for the just a setup for the Ahsoka show, and then Moff Gideon is doing a thing. And he just wants to armor all his stormtroopers with Beskar so he can take over the galaxy, and that's it. Besides the cloning thing,
yes.
But he just wants Beskar, and he has he now has a base just on Mandalore, which we come to learn at the end of the episode.
Yes.
Which they just go to Mandalore. We see
Skinny Pete.
We see Skinny Pete. We see Guy who is in Top Gun Maverick and
Barry.
And Barry.
Season 4.
I'm sure he's in other things, but I don't know what they are. And
they're pirates.
They're okay.
Are they the spies?
No. I don't know why. The episode's called The Spies.
Why?
For no reason.
Because if it was called like The Spy,
yeah, it could.
I would maybe
just
think
be
that
the
it was
first 5 minutes of the episode.
Or it was
Abby.
it was just Abby.
I don't know why it's called The Spies. There's no
Are
reason.
the Imperial Remnant people he meets with, like that meeting, are they the spies? Because they're like, they're like imposters.
No,
because aren't they all like? Don't they have? I don't know.
They're all Imperials that just ran away and are just holding up some places of the galaxy, and they're like doing shit. They're essentially what Guy.
Werner Herzog.
Werner Herzog. They're just Werner Herzog, I think, essentially.
Yeah.
And that's it. That's the whole. That's all they are. They go to Mandalore. They meet Mandalorians. They go down into the Mayans. They find the forge. That is the forge.
Baby Yoda has a suit now.
Baby Yoda gets an IG-11, now called IG-12 suit that Babu Freak made.
So that he can say yes and no.
So that he can say yes or no. There's literally no reason for him to have the IG-12 suit.
No. What do you mean, no? No.
I think he's saying he's old enough to operate it.
Yes.
All that matters in that episode is just the end of the episode where we see Moff Gideon come down in armor, black armor. What was it? Mark II Dark Trooper suit. Mark II Dark Troopers, where they're not robots anymore. They're just people.
They're just people.
In Beskar Mandalorian armor. It's a trap. It wasn't that easy. We see his base. He captures the Mando. The rest of them have to run away, and then Paz Vizsla sacrifices himself. Such an important and
interesting character.
Really liked that character. I thought he was really cool and complex and interesting, and he dies to the Praetorian Guard, and that's the end of the episode.
Yeah, it ends with a shot of him dead.
Ends with a shot of our beloved character dead. And then there's the finale, which is 30 minutes long. Yeah. The next episode just happens. They're running away in the halls, the same way 3 different times. Mando
Moff Gideon, who in the previous episode when he told them to like bring him to the interrogation room, had like a fleet of them with him.
Yes.
But then when we cut to in this episode, there's only like 2.
There's 2.
So
and he just defeats them.
And then Baby Yoda. How did Baby Yoda get there? I still don't.
Oh yeah, Baby Yoda just appears. There's literally no way.
He was on the other side.
Yes.
He just appears. Don't ask questions, I guess.
Don't ask questions. Your favorite child toy here is...
And speaking of toys, then R7 goes on his own mission to... Open the Phantom Menace doors.
Yes, open the Phantom Menace doors so that Din can defeat the 2 guards that are behind each shield until he gets to the end. The rest of the Mandalorians go get backup.
And that one tried to dive bombs the ship into the planet.
Oh, you're getting way too ahead of yourself.
Well, no, but that's his whole storyline. Throughout the episode is him just...
A bunch of fighters and bombers go to destroy the main ship. The rest of them go to the surface to fight.
Yes.
Yeah, he just gets up there and just says, "Oh, we got it." And then, oh no, Bo just calls him on the phone and just says, "Hey, we should get everyone down here," because they escape from the underground bit, and get up to the surface, and then she makes a phone call and says, "There's a bunch of bombers and fighters coming to destroy you. Get everyone on the surface now." and then they all go down there except for him. They also just, I guess all those ships just pass by each other in the clouds, even though they're like this close.
Yeah.
And then those TIE ships never appear again. They're just gone. They all go to the surface while the TIE bombers and fighters destroy the capital. It's like it's not a capital ship. They destroy the ship.
Yeah.
And then they're gone. They just disappear.
I didn't think about that.
They're just gone.
Where did they go?
I don't know. I guess there's not much they can do in the weird like hangar crevice that the base is in, but you could just bomb them out and just like be like, base is lost because they're there.
Yeah.
Just blow it up. But they don't. They just disappear from the story. And then while that's happening, the Mandalorians and the stormtroopers, they clash in the air with their jetpacks, and it looks.
I mean, it doesn't look that bad, to be fair.
It's a mess.
It's a mess. It's a mess. Like,
there's parts where it looks pretty bad, I think.
Yeah.
It's a mess.
But like, how do you not geography? Like,
where
as
else
a
do you
fight?
Sure.
No, like as a fight, it's a mess because you don't know where anyone is because they're just flying. At each other.
Yeah, you cannot tell what's happening.
Like,
you have to get these close-ups where the volume is like
happening.
flinging around and they're like on wires just there.
We're just fully CGI.
We're just fully CGI. It looks like a prequels fight.
It does. That was the most prequels. That was like the most prequels thing I think we've had since Disney bought Lucasfilm.
Yeah, that's probably right. I don't somehow. Oh yeah, and then Din finds the clones and
finds the
blows them
clones
up
who
immediately.
I thought were Snoke at first.
It's not
kind
Snoke.
of upset that it wasn't.
Unfortunately, it's not Snoke. We didn't see Snoke in a tank again.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Maybe in Ahsoka.
Maybe.
And then he kills them.
It just immediately. Like, we learned they're Gideon clones.
Even though our favorite YouTuber, Star Wars Theory, did bring up a good point where he said that they show Moff Gideon.
Oh, God, yeah, this part.
Yeah, they show Moff Gideon looking at the map, and he's like, oh, they're headed this way, so I'm going to meet them there, and I don't need any backup. And so he goes there, and he knows that they're going to pass through the clone room, but then Din kills all his clones, and he's like, why did you kill my clones? Why did you do that?
Which are clones that are infused with midichlorians, which means they have the Force.
Yes.
Moff Gideon's whole bit was to make clones of himself with the Force.
I was isolating the potential to wield the Force and incorporating it into an unstoppable army. You smothered them before they could draw their first breath.
Yeah, so the whole mystery now, like, if you go back and watch season 1 and 2, is
That's
gone.
what it's about. That's all it is.
Because, like, it used to be all mysterious, like, what does he need Baby Yoda for? But it was just, I want a fleet of Gideons with the Force, because that's the ultimate fighter.
That's the only thing he
opinion.
didn't have, or whatever. He said something like that.
Because he was like, my dark troopers lacked one thing, me.
Is that what he said?
I have created the next generation Dark Trooper suit. And the most impressive improvement is that it has me in it.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Man crashes the ship.
There's a fight.
There's a fight, but Din barely fights. He gets, like, kicked.
Gideon, destroys the Darksaber.
Oh, yeah. Din...
So I guess it's not important anymore.
It's also not important. Din Djarin basically loses to Gideon, and Bo-Katan comes down to fight him, and then the Darksaber gets blown up, and then the guy crashes the capital ship into the base.
Gideon is evaporated.
Gideon, it's such a bad shot. It's so bad.
Yeah.
He's just standing there.
Yeah.
And then the ship crashes down, and then everything blows up. He's like, the shot is literally him standing there, and you can see him do this before the explosion happens.
Yeah. And Baby Yoda
just uses the Force.
We get that great shot of the three of them under the Force bubble. And that's what I love about this show is again, it used to be about like a guy like kind of becoming a single father to this kid and throwing away his religion to finally find his own family. And now he's gone back to the religion, and now it's like a full parental unit. So it's really become about a great American family once again. With a mom, a dad, and a kid.
Well, mom's away on work, though.
Mom's away on work.
So he's still a single dad at home on his
That's true.
on his ranch.
That's true, but we will get that sex scene.
Oh yeah, what did the real actor for the Mandalorian say? He had to do something this season and made us think there was going to be a Din and Bo sex scene.
He said, what did he say? He said like, I think he must have said something like intimate or something.
He said something about intimacy, and it got us very excited.
Said that the fucking finale was gonna be like. It was going to be like, so like the finale, you were going to watch the finale and like regret ever asking for more Mandalorian because it was going to be so devastating.
I guess I do regret asking for more Mandalorian after this season. It's so bad. Anyway, Baby Yoda becomes a Mandalorian. And
he asks...
He's also gone from the Coven now.
Din asks his local priest if he can officially adopt Baby Yoda as his son, even though he kind of already was his son.
From the Catholic Church.
You have to make it official in the court of law for your love to be real. And so Grogu becomes Din Grogu.
You are now Din Grogu, Mandalorian apprentice.
This is the way.
Which... I guess
which means Din is his family name?
Shouldn't
so his
I
name
guess?
Is Jaren?
That's just like not accurate.
Even though people call him Din? I don't know.
I
don't know.
That's like not forget it. I don't care. I was trying to find a way to who cares? Why not?
I think literally the only thought process behind that was because
Grogu Jaren didn't sound cool.
It doesn't roll off the tongue as much. So
Din Grogu.
John was just like he just
Grogu Jaren
deleted the thing on fucking
it just went on Final Draft.
On Final Draft, he deleted that and just wrote Din Grogu. I was like, yeah, I'll be fine, whatever. I don't fucking care. And then they make big forges.
They relight the forge.
It's bigger now. And then
he's gonna be a contract bounty hunter for finding Imperials.
But only of Imperial Remnant now.
Only of Imperial Remnant now because he's a good guy. He's not a bounty hunter necessarily anymore. He's like a
Grogu's gonna help him. And he has a house now.
A place to call home.
Because of Carl Weathers. Which actually kind of makes sense because...
sure.
How are you going to live out of that fucking
ship?
ship?
Yeah, because the cool ship from season 1 and 2 is blown to pieces. And instead of just doing something new, they said...
Instead of a new fun ship that could have, if it was still around, like rivaled people's love of the Millennium Falcon because it's a cool fucking ship.
Yeah, instead you made a prequels member berry.
Ship.
It's the Naboo N1 Starfighter from The Phantom Menace. Do you remember that?
Is it the same one that Anakin used?
Do you remember in Book of Boba Fett where he put it for a test run and he did it through the pod racing course?
Wizard.
And then he says Wizard. Do you remember the Phantom Menace? Do you remember the Phantom Menace?
Have we made you come yet?
Come for me. If John and Dave came to you and said, "Come for me," would a Star Wars fan immediately come in their pants?
That's
I
all
think
this
they
show
would.
is anymore. They're just desperately just jerking off Star Wars fans, and I feel left out of the party. I want a good story. Sorry.
I want to come to Star Wars like these people do, and I just can't because it is so boring and so uninteresting. I don't care. This whole season was just, oh, Bo-Katan needs to become a ruler again, and then she does, and then there's nothing for anyone to do. The only hope...
Oh, God. You know what it is? It's a way to set up Mandalore again so that in Ahsoka or whatever movie that John's having, they can ask for Mandalore's help, and they can help fight Thrawn.
Oh.
That's all this is.
Oh. God
they need people. They need men. They need, fucking artillery.
You're right. Yeah, you're right.
Because the New Republic won't help them because they're dumb and stupid.
If we don't stop Thrawn, everything will be in vain.
The only hope with season 4 is that it goes back to being serial stories, which it probably won't. Well, it still has to be Imperial Remnant stuff.
Yeah,
but
because what else do they have left?
There's nothing left to do.
There's nothing left to do.
Unless you introduce a new plot element, which would have to do with Baby Yoda.
Or Luke Skywalker.
Or Luke. I don't know. I really don't know. It's a mess. It's a massive mess. Oh yeah, Dr. Pershing still has... I don't think he's dead.
No.
And Abby's still out there doing... Okay, you want to hear my great, amazing theory?
Sure.
I know we talked about this before, but I also think Moff Gideon is also still not dead. Either a clone of him is alive, or that was a clone of him without Force powers, and he's just somewhere. I want to say that's true.
You know why? You're right.
They left it so open-ended.
Because they can't help... Number one, they can't help themselves. Number two, he's basically a cartoon villain at this point.
Yes.
Because why did he need to come back in this season? Just so he had someone to fight.
Yeah.
Number three, they keep trying to do this thing where every time Moff Gideon comes back, it's like the odds are even less that they're going to make it out because that's what you have to do.
Yeah.
And so next time he comes back, he can have the Force because it's going to be a clone of himself.
Yeah. I think it's just... I mean, it's also just bad writing. This whole season's bad writing. But...
Mostly written by John.
Thank you, John.
Thank you, John.
But... like, just letting them destroy the clones is, like, it's bad writing, but it also feels way too easy.
Oh, yeah.
Like, you just revealed what it was, and it's gone.
It's gone, yeah.
Bad writing, definitely. Purposeful, because there's actually more Moff Gideon out there. Also very possible.
Very possible.
It's not going to end. None of this is going to end.
It's never going to end.
They, like... they got to bring someone on next season, though, for this, though.
Like, creatively?
Yeah, dude, the ratings on this thing were terrible. So many less people watched it, and then, like, the ratings themselves, no one liked this. Like,
that means if there is a season 4, they got to do something, like, straight off the bat, like, marketing-wise to show that it's different. Like, another, like, a fucking... popular Star Wars character joins them or something for their adventures. Like, there's got to be something on the poster to make people be like, "Oh my god!"
When's that movie coming out? When's Dave's movie coming out?
I think they want it to be the second movie. So, like, Daisy Ridley one's coming out first in 2025. I think they said like 2024.
There's no way it's next year.
They're rushing the movies out. John Boyega is in talks to
Of course he is, because one, they need him.
Yeah.
He can't not be in the movie.
Where is he?
And is he going to say no to like $8 million, $10 million?
You think they're going to get Oscar Isaac back too?
Ooh, that's a big check. That's a big chunk of change. They're blowing like at least like $30 to $40 million just to get these three back because
if they want the friend vibe,
I guess
and
John,
like the Han, Leia, Luke vibe, they got to get them back because
Which
that was one of the only cool parts of Rise of Skywalker.
Yes, you finally felt the gang vibes.
Yes. But that's a big check.
That's a big check because Daisy Ridley is only coming back for that check.
Yeah.
After the way she was abused for those.
And what's she been in since? Where's she getting work? She was in Murder on the Orient Express.
She was on that movie with Tom Holland.
Christ.
Whatever that was.
But both of those movies were filmed during Star Wars stuff.
Were they?
Yeah.
Oh.
Because Chaos Walking, that's the name of the movie.
Oh, yeah.
Was delayed release. Like they filmed it way back.
Yeah, she hasn't been in anything. Well, also, it's like I would not come back unless my check was like $10 million.
Oh, yeah.
After all that, I would want $10 million.
I would want to never work again.
Yeah. And so you're already blowing like a fifth of your budget on
just on the cast.
On cast.
Because
who
you
else? Still need more cast.
Because they're gonna bring back as many sequel people as they can, even if they're small.
Is Lando coming back?
Oh, you think he's still alive? Lando is not surviving another 10 years.
Let's find out.
Yeah, but she's gonna be in it. Maybe Poe's girlfriend, Babu Freak. What's the orange lady's name?
Maz Kanata.
Maz Kanata.
Maz Kanata's coming back.
Chewie. This is for you.
Dio. The droid. BB-8, of course.
Killed the rest of our characters. I just don't like the idea of making I guess you're not forcing anyone, but you're forcing people to watch these shows on Disney Plus week to week or all at once, and then being like, "Hey, we're gonna have a culmination of all these in a movie that you're gonna go see in the theater."
Yeah.
What? Who cares?
Kind of insane.
Who cares?
Because there's no chance that the first act of that movie has time to explain who all these people are.
No.
Because the people who've only seen the movies don't even know who Ahsoka is. No. So yeah, you're literally, to fully understand that movie, you have to watch
so much.
5 or 6 seasons of television.
Yeah, you have to watch. I guess you don't have to watch.
Because you don't have to watch the animated stuff. You could just watch the live action stuff.
Yeah, you can probably just watch the Ahsoka show. I'm sure there's a way to.
That's also true. But Mandalorian, unless he's in
3 seasons of Mando, a season of Ahsoka. I guess there isn't a skeleton crew potentially.
Oh fucking Christ!
All this slop for a movie that is gonna be mid. It's just going to be slop. I don't know what Ahsoka's going to be. It's just going to be slop. Star Wars is a mess. It is.
Yeah, the only thing that I'm even little tiny bit interested in is the Daisy Ridley movie, because if they get all of them back, I like the actors.
Yeah.
There's a filmmaker who had an idea for it.
Yeah,
I don't know. Could be interesting.
And then there's the origin movie.
Bible one, fuck off.
The Bible Star Wars
Ten
movie.
Commandments. Just to make the Star Wars fandom more like a religion.
That's actually terrible, because I think. Okay, so the first, I don't know what the first lightsaber's like, but old okay. Unless they just throw out lore, I don't know if they have this current lore in Disney Star Wars, but they might. That first lightsaber is going to be a backpack. with a cord attached to it that someone has to move around, unless they just avoid lightsabers and just only do Force stuff, which is possible.
Yeah, that might be it. Because the way you described it, it's gonna be like fucking spiritual ass.
Also, dude, 20,000?
Mumbo jumbo.
20,000 years or whatever,
Are
right?
they gonna have any spacecraft?
Star Wars has been okay. Star Wars is a problem because like 2,000 years went by and it just looks like the same universe and like
20,000 years? Is it just gonna take place on one planet?
I don't know.
Is the Force gonna be a person like Christ?
The Holy Spirit.
The Holy Spirit. The Holy Force.
The Holy Force. Are we gonna see the Wills? We see midichlorians again. I don't know. Mando came out the same year as Rise of Skywalker and made you think Star Wars had a new hope.
Yeah.
For 2 seasons. A game came out. Clone Wars came out. And it's like, oh boy, they might be able to turn it around. Bad Batch came out. Canceled movies.
Canceled movie, but they're too afraid to say it.
There's like 8 canceled movies now.
Yeah, the Game of Thrones guys had a movie.
They had 3.
Kevin Feige had a movie.
Kevin Feige, Ryan Johnson, Taika Waititi, Patty Jenkins movie.
Which he's still going to do, guys. Ryan Johnson's still going to do that trilogy. Don't you worry. So is Taika Waititi. He's doing his movie.
Maybe in like 10 years.
Don't you worry.
Taika Waititi's out.
Oh, yeah.
I think Ryan could come back in like a few years.
He could. I mean, when he's done with Knives Out, he needs a new pot of cash.
Patty Jenkins' Top Gun movie that's in
Very
Star Wars.
important to the life of her father.
Every day I would wake up and go outside and look up, see my father and his squadron taking off and their F-4s roaring across the sky. So when he lost his life in service to this country, it ignited a desire in me to turn all of that tragedy and thrill into one day making the greatest fighter pilot movie of all time.
Canceled. I don't know. Season 3 sucked. Star Wars is in the tank. There's nothing good happening.
It sucked really bad.
I kind of get what it's like to be a fan of. I guess that 3rd season was pretty good. I guess of Picard.
Oh yeah, no, they loved Picard season 3. But yeah, the 3 biggest sci-fi franchises.
Oh, they're in the gutter.
The gutter.
Watch Picard season 3. I guess.
Watch Succession and Barry.
Watch Succession and Barry. Those are real shows with actors and directors. Watch Lucky Hank.
Sure.
Watch Lucky Hank. It's better than The Mandalorian season 3. It is
without a doubt.
There's even trash AMC television is better.
It's better at this point than The Mandalorian.
So,
would you accept any middle finger?
Remember the Lando show? They're still in talks for that. That could be fun. I don't know.
Yeah, I want to see Lando again. I guess Donald Glover was okay.
Yeah, that'd be fun, sure. I mean, Solo was okay. If Lando is their like backdoor way of making a Solo show and Alden's in it too, why not? Isn't that his name? Alden Ehrenreich?
Yeah.
All right, well. Would you let Bo-Katan sit on your face?
Yeah. Yeah. Why not? Who cares anymore?